Hey everyone, this is Luminous coming you guys with a pro Dota commentary. Actually, this is Luminous and 715. Can't forget that guy as we cast iG.Y versus iG.Z, two of my favorite teams in the Chinese scene at the moment. 715, you ready on pause? Let's do
Yes.
so in 3, 2, 1, go. Okay, so iG.Z, former known as CCM, iG.Y, formerly known as LGD, the OLGD. And before this game, which I don't know the result of this game, but before this game, iG.Y has been undefeated. Is that the case?
No, actually, iG.Z was able to take one game from them in the WDC qualifier, but they don't release replays, so we
Okay.
didn't know how that happened, but there was one game
Well,
that
so
iG.Y lost. It was the only game.
I suppose it's can I is it fair to say if I say these two teams are pretty evenly matched? I don't think iG.Y is that much better than iG.Z, or are you gonna disagree with me there?
I would actually say that iG.Y is better than iG.Z because they met before and iG.Z actually got raped. So I don't know what happened that one game, but I would still say iG.Y is actually a bit better. But yeah, they are quite on an equal level.
Okay, let's try to pause at 15. Let's do so. Pause at 15 because this is an AP remake of a CM game. Obviously, we won't have the band info here, but let's look at what we got to give a pick and ban analysis. I feel a little bit uncomfortable just casting a straight AP game without talking about the picks, because I think we'll have quite a bit to talk about. Let's look at the Sentinel first. We do have a Vengeful Spirit, the Clockwork, the Syllabary, Enchantress, and the Line. Just judging from the picks, I think we're going to have Clockwork top, the Line solo mid, a double jungle of the Venge Enchantress, and then the Syllabary solo bot. Any disagreements with that with those lane match?
No, actually, I think those lanes will be that way. I guess yes.
Pretty standard.
Yeah, pretty standard. So
Okay. Meanwhile, on the
right.
Scourge side, it seems like we're gonna have the Lich and the AM going bot. I see the AM already warding there actually. He has taken Poor Man's Shield first, so that's an indication of a Battle Fairy build, but we'll talk about that later on. Maybe Venomancer is going to go to the mid solo lane, and then we're going to have a Brood Mother and the Witch
Yeah,
Doctor on the top.
yeah, I
That may be
think
a little
so.
bit strange, but um,
Well, it's I like the fact that there are dual lanes these days. Like, yeah, uh,
okay.
it seems pretty much like dual lanes are returning, and
Yes.
that's cool.
I'm a little sick of seeing trialing myself as well, so this should be fun. Now, in terms of any kind of synergy or how the team is good against each other, we see kind of a dual carry situation on Scourge side. And personally, the last time I seen this, either the anti-mage is going to play a lot offensively than he usually does, or the Brewmother is going to play a little bit more offensively. Uh, you think this is going to be happening in this game as well, or you guys think this is kind of a 3 protect 2 strat and the 2 carry just kind of rise away?
Well, I think that the anti-mage is on the bot lane maybe indicates that he wants to play a bit more aggressive than usual, of course. But in general, I think iG.Z will be very careful playing this game because there's really a lot of stuff on the Sentinel that can cause a big trouble for them. They have good pushing power. They have the Clock Rocket, which always helps pushing because you can push two lanes at the same time. While you're in mid, you can shoot rockets down and the lane will push from alone. And well, they have obviously the Scylla and the Ange, but they have also, well, they have those two push heroes and they have three initiation heroes going with them. The Lion with a dagger, which I'm sure he'll pick that item up. The Syllabare, the Clockwork with the hook, sorry, and the Venge with the swap, of course. So a few mistakes might even cost the Scourge like two towers at once in a very early stage of the game. So I actually expect them to be quite careful.
Yes, and that's the case. So I think that's enough pick and ban introduction. Let's try to unpause. Are you at 115, right?
Yes, go.
Okay, let's unpause in 3, 2, 1, go. I actually think this game will be strongly dependent on how this Enchantress and this Vengeful Spirit play in the at least the first 5-10 minutes, because to me the Sentinel team is a lot earlier game. The Syllabare, I mean, once he picks up the Radiance, and normal time for a Syllabare to pick up that Radiance will be maybe 20 to 24 minutes. once you pick it up, you will see a huge push being made by Sentinel, and it depends on whether how offensive this Enchantress and Venge could get, especially to that bot lane, and give that Syllabear the room to farm, because Syllabear is going to have trouble against the Lich and Anti-Mage. A Nova Blinking, especially against that low HP pool of that Syllabear, he's going to have some trouble against it. So we'll see how well the Enchantress and Venge should do, because I think that will be a huge indication of how this game is going to be playing out. 430 is going to be dropping that web once again for that top lane. Double Damage Rune is going to be claimed by Anti-Mage. He does have the blink. He's going to go for the Enchantress, taking quite a bit of hit right now. Let's see if we can chasing for the kill. Enchantress, by the way, does not have healing intent yet. Of course not. And looks like Anti-Mage is going to give up chase and maybe even get a little bit more harassed against Avenge. So quite a bit of damage being done, but Enchantress doesn't really care. Or maybe he's going to go all the way back to base.
I actually think he waits and farm.
Yeah,
he's going to wait and farm. But I have to say before, I actually agree with you. I don't think it depends that much on the Enchantress and Venge play. I think it it indirectly does, but I think the biggest part is the Venomancer and the Lich, because if the Scourge wants to, well, just from the heroes, if they want to defend in early game, and they'll need to, if they don't want to give easy tier 1 towers away, they will need a strong Venomancer, and they will need a Lich that doesn't get picked off too easy. I think that are two important factors, so that depends, of course. If the Venge and the Eng gank those heroes a lot, then it will be very hard for IG to defend. But I would more say it's more the responsibility of the Venomancer and the Lich to get something going early and be able to defend the pushes.
And it looks like we are going to have the Venomancer solo mid, so that at the very least, it's going to mean a very early max of that wards. Let's see how Chuan's going to be playing this, because I do think the line will have an I wouldn't say at least a killing advantage against the Venomancer. Of course, the Venomancer will be able to kill the line if the line's a little bit out of position as well. I'm assuming the line's going to pick up an early boost of speed. Same thing with the Venomancer. And once the line turns 6, deny comes into a big factor in this game as well. Once either of these turns 6, we're going to see some sort of killing attempt against the hero. Meanwhile, on the top lane here, it's actually very interesting to see this Broodmother being supported by the Witch Doctor, because generally you assume Broodmother is going to be fine in lane, and she definitely is. But it's a very interesting move. Clockwork being kept down. Any thoughts on the fact that they actually put a Witch Doctor supporting there?
I actually think they do it in general to get more XP on the heroes, because well, if they could do the tri-lane down, but as we see, Witch Dog is going to pull a lot. I don't really expect him to be in lane and babysit the Broodmother, because as you said, she will have really nice time against the Clockwork. It's only a Clockwork. It's the long lane, the safe lane for the Broodmother, so no big trouble there. And we actually see the 3 Spiderlings already going for the Clockwork, forcing him back to the tower. So I think they just want to ensure that the Witch Dog gets a few nice safe levels and a bit of gold.
Yeah, and I actually think Scourge definitely has the choice once the Broodmother picks up that Soul Ring to still get a little bit more mana to spam. As we see a little bit of smoke gang going on the mid lane here. I'm not too sure whether they can get the Venomancer, although Impale could just be the good initiation. Looks like the smoke is revealed and Venomancer is going to back up. But going back to that Brood on the top lane, sooner or later I think the Broodmother could send Spiderlings in the jungle, and Witch Doctor could also get EXP that way. Just basically have the Spiderlings tank up, and then he also last hits or just go to neutral.
Broodmother's definitely going to do that, because that's the way you play Brood. You can either go for the early push, but usually it's just better to use the Spiderlings in the first few minutes just to farm up, because if you push the tower, okay, it's good, it's a lot of gold for your team, but you're also in a bigger danger. And the indication, we actually see the first blood going on the bot lane.
Yes, it was very close on the first blast. We see maybe even a kill against the Lich right here. Lich is going to be fine. Very well done by iG.Y here, salving at the correct moment. A very smart pickup of the boots of speed, because he know that the Nova and the Blink-In from the Anti-Mage is going to do significant amount of damage, and it did. I think the Lone Druid was one hit away from death, and very smart port back from his Syllabear allowed him to get that kill against the Anti-Mage. So very well done. That actually shut down the Anti-Mage farm quite a bit, because you don't expect the Anti-Mage to die in this lane. You expect the Syllabear to be dying. So now Lone Druid, but he needs to be very careful. He needs to heal up, because he's right now at this moment one nuke and a couple of hits from the Anti-Mage from death. Meanwhile, in the mid lane here, very nice ganks coming from Sentinel. They are going to pick up the kill. It looks like Enchantress pulling off that Luminous Enchantress play, claiming that kill. Very well done there. That's going to ensure him a very quick boost of speed, and he's a very healthy way to that quick level 6 as well. Venge, also very good EXP. So far looking pretty good for iG.Z, iG.Y. Their supports are sufficiently farmed. Meanwhile, on the other side, Venomancer has died once, and that's the key hero that you were talking about. Meanwhile, Lich here, also level 3.5, so not too bad himself, but he's got to be very, very worried about that double jungle gank.
Yes, and I actually want to make my point about top lane, what I was saying earlier. You can either push the lane if you're a brute, or you can sit in the lane, but if you push, on the one hand you'll get a lot of gold for your team, but on the other hand you put yourself in greater danger because you're far into the enemy territory. But yeah, the fact that the brute is on the top lane, actually I think that indicates that they want to have the brood mother being safe, so I don't expect an early push there.
Yeah, and also if you push the lane, you will give Clockwork a little bit more XP than he usually is, because Clockwork generally has to stay a little bit back if he's worried about that Witch Stalker coming to ganking in the lane. Looks like we do have a double damage rune being claimed by the Venomancer. Boots picked up on the Venomancer, and same thing with the Demon Witch. Demon Witch has a bottle right now. He has a very healthy amount of mana. I think he's just a couple more harassment hits away from getting a kill on that Venomancer, or he's just one magical missile away. So this Venomancer has got to be very careful about his map awareness, because one wrong move, he's going to go down 0 and 2. Meanwhile, on the bot lane here, Syllabear had to constantly send himself salves and whatnot to keep himself alive. However, he does have Phase Boots finish. Now, generally, you see Phase Boot being put on the actual bear so the bear could do a little bit more harass. But considering that he's up against such an offensive lane, looks like we are going to have a gank against that Lich. Stomp 1, Stomp number 2 is going to be casted as well. Very well done by the Enchantress here, as we see another kill being claimed by Sentinel. So Sentinel looking very good. Again, the key heroes, the Lich, the Venomancer, like you said, being shut down right now. So very, very well done by iG.Y. LGD.
LGD, yes, for us LGD in our heart.
In my heart, LGD.
Again, such an emotional game for Luminous, just like the other ones. And actually wanted to talk about Chuan a bit, who is going on the Venomancer right now, and he got that ultimate, he's hexing him, and that's one more hit away, but the healing stuff, oh, not being enough, so nicely done there. And yes, actually I've seen many discussions lately, or well, if you read interviews of some Chinese players, we saw Syllabear being harassed on the down lane, but he's going to be fine. That Chuan is actually in top form at the moment, and I actually agree with that. Like lately, Chuan has really been playing so good. So he's really becoming, like, if that's even possible. He was such a good player before, but at the moment he's becoming an even better player. So I'm really looking forward to seeing him at WDC and SMN.
Yeah, man, and if you don't play Pudge, not top form for me, man. Gotta bust out some Tron Butcher, make movie number 3. So you see a ganking attempt on that bot lane here. Magic Missile is gonna hit on the Anti-Mage. Anti-Mage is gonna blink out fine. Cast bouncing absolutely everywhere. Tower not focusing on the heroes though. It looks like this tower is gonna be claimed by the Sentinel. The bear tanking quite a bit of damage. No, there looks like it have to back off. This tornado is still slowing everyone down. Tower 77 HP. It's gonna come down to a huge battle of last hit, and who's gonna last hit it? It looks like YYF is gonna last it, and that's a huge boom to his income. Let me check out how many goals got right now. He's got 1,000 gold. I wonder if he's gonna maybe get a cloak and prevent the nuke damage, or you think he's gonna go straight into relic right now?
Well, that really depends a lot, but usually you go straight into relic and get it after that, because in general you want to avoid the fights anyways before you have your radiance finished. So yeah, you know what I'm saying. You don't need a cloak if you don't fight.
Do you think he's also gonna make a little pit stop and maybe get a boots, or maybe even a phase boots on his bear? Again, he's...
I think he will pick up another pair of boots, but he maybe hands the phase boots to his bear then, because right now he has them on his hero, because it's so, if there are no stunts in the enemy lane, in his enemies in the lane have no stunts, so phase boots are obviously such a good choice to protect yourself, and that's why he picked them up on the hero. Maybe he will give them to the bear later. Yeah, and actually it's very interesting to see a Witch Doctor on the Scourge side, because Witch Doctor as a support generally, we haven't seen him that often. Any thoughts on why maybe they have picked a Witch Doctor over, let's say, a CM, which is a more common support, or maybe a Shaker? Of course, those heroes could have been banned, but let's assume that they were not banned. Any reason why you think Witch Doctor might be better suited in this case against the Sentinel lineup? Might be good against the Enchantress. I know your point usually is, oh, the Enchantress creep would get stunned for long, yes, but it would eat up all those bounces.
Yes, that's what I think.
But yeah, well, I think it the other way around, like it gets stunned for a long time, so that's maybe. I think he's quite a good hero against pushers, and if you don't want to play a really gank heavy lineup, like we that is no gank lineup at all that we see at the Scourge. It's a farm and team fight lineup based on defending and maybe pushing some towers, and I feel like Witch Dog is suited a lot better for that because with those heroes, they don't even have really long range initiation. I don't see them getting any real ganks off. Maybe with a Venomancer, but that's still hard. Like I feel like they don't want to play a ganking game. Maybe they just got outpicked and that's why they ended up without any real ganking heroes. I can really tell, but I think he's just suited better for the game that the Scourge wants to play.
Yeah, and I completely agree with the fact that the Witch Doctor definitely a little bit more turtle-based hero, a lack of a ganking hero, because that's definitely what we saw in 6.69C. That hero was picked non-stop, and that metagame was all about farming, all about turtling, and not so much about ganking. But it looks like the Scourge here, the Sentinel, is going to be making a ganking attempt. Level 6s on that Enchantress and also Venge quite close. Both of them has boots of speed and they're roaming to mid lane to find that Venomancer to get that kill. Venomancer luckily moving to the secret shop. He is going to pick up the arcane boots and that's going to give his team a little bit more mana to work with. And with this Enchantress hitting such a quick level 6, also getting a brace already, working on that Django, they're going to have such a high amount of DPS. And I think this Venomancer, yes, Venomancer is going to get, where's the tier? There's a tier. Magic Missile not in place. There's a Gale under the tower though, and because of very nice War Trap, they're going to be fine. So very well done there. But looks like Clockwork and also the line, they're going to be pushing on the mid lane here. Venomancer, I think he just have to go back because I think he's in a very dangerous position if he's going to go a little bit ahead. But it looks like this the Sentinel double jungle is going to go back in the jungle and get some EXP there.
Yeah, and did you actually talk about which event this is?
This is Zhongbao Cup.
Okay.
I don't know what that means, but
a
yes.
local LAN, I guess. Well, yeah, it's a LAN event, I think, not online.
Oh, great.
So, oh well, I guess it is. I'm not sure, but
well, I don't think it matters too much if it's a Chinese versus Chinese game, whether it's online or because I doubt they will have flag. I mean, well,
yeah.
well, we'll see.
And actually, it's interesting. Like Venge is farming alone at the bottom lane right now, while Syllabir is doing the correct thing. He's just staying in the jungle, and with a hero, Sentinel Scourge, sorry, doesn't really have any chance to gank him soon because he's safe. He's in the jungle. The lanes are warded off. The both supports are interestingly farming. Like the Enchantress farming in mid, the Venge was farming on the bottom. So all heroes in LGD getting fed right now, and well, they just can't. They have absolutely nothing to stop the Syllabir. No weapon against him.
At least not right now. You're gonna need a very farm anti-mage and farm broodmother. Which, by the way, the broodmother has picked up a a Vitality booster, and you're one of the few broods I've ever seen to go Vanguard brood, and I'll ask you about your opinion on the Vanguard brood in just a bit. But as I want to talk about how the Sentinel is really farming right now. As you said, we saw the meanwhile in the bot lane here, we are gonna have finally a dead Syllabir, and the first kill is gonna be claimed. Who's gonna get the last hit? Looks like Shansheng on the Lich is gonna get that last hit. Fail KS by Zolder. But going back to that, what you were saying earlier about how the Sentinel is really farming all over the map. And I think because they have such a more offensive lineup, whereas Scourge has a very defensive lineup, the Scourge team cannot allow they can't go on the offensive. And because Sentinel, they have better farming heroes, they could farm in the jungle, they could have send Syllabir and the Enchantress in the jungle, send the Venge in lane. They maximize on the EXP, they maximize on the go intake. Whereas on the other side, we had the Lich just staying in the bot lane, he can't really last it, and the EXP is divided in half there. Meanwhile, we see a gank attempt. There's a cast bouncing on the creeps. There's a Nova as well, half HP. They're gonna drop that Chain Frost on him as well. I think Maledict might take him off, but he's very low right now. Oh no, healing attendant. OP.
19.
No problem,
yes,
man.
The heal's just so great, and actually I want to check the Lion Gold right now. Yeah, he actually can pick up a Spring Dagger in a few seconds, so I expect we are going to see a lot more Dead Scourge heroes when he got his dagger. Especially he can easily go for well, I guess they will get a gank off on the Broodmother, but yeah, the Brood completed the Vanguard, and I actually think a Vanguard is a very good choice here, because Vanguard is usually good in situations where you know that if you're getting ganked, that you're going to get devastated in that ganks, and it's a bit hard to explain, but you just know power trades and Poor Man's Shield won't be enough to survive a gank from a Clockwork, a Bench, and an Enchantress, a Lion, from a lineup of that kind. Also, you know that it's going to help a lot against the enemy carry, against the Syllabir. Vanguard really help out against the Beer and the hero, so yeah, it's a really good decision here.
Oh,
Because you will just feel as a brute player that you are not going anywhere with such low HP.
okay. And because of that Vanguard, he is sitting at a very elite HP pool right now. So let's see if in game that's going to help out. And in terms of item choice here, do you think that with that extra survivability, maybe he'll skip the BKB and go for the Orchid in this case? Quite good against some of the Sentinel hero, or you think he's going to just go the old school BKB and just go crazy in a team fight?
I think you'll get the old school BKB because there's too much disable on the. Well, he basically can't focus Enchantress when he doesn't have a BKB because of Untouchable. The Lion and the Venge is, and also the Cloak. It's just too much disable all in all. So I actually expect him. Well, it depends. If he feels like he have to fight because his team can't defend alone, then he'll probably get a BKB. If he feels like he can rise more on the top lane, then he will just get the Orchid. But I actually expect the game turning that way, that he'll get a BKB.
And looks like we did have a hook attempt on the mid lane. Gonna barely miss on that Venomancer. I think you can still get entangled by that bear within the BKB, right? Mechanically. Is that true? I'm not 100% sure on that.
Actually, I don't think you can get entangled in BKB.
Okay. Well, whether it's the case that you can or cannot get entangled, I think BKB might still be the better item choice here. One thing I still very like what iG.Y is doing here, they're giving Venge farm, and that's I think very important. They already have very good initiation in that clock and that Lion Blink Dagger, but having a high level of Venge also give you another another tool or another weapon to go high ground. I think that's what Sentinel is really looking for. Like I said earlier, I think once they pick up that early Radiance, and I think Syllabir is on a good way right now, but once they pick up this Radiance, they're going to be looking very offensive. Having a high level of Venge not only give you a high ground temp, also gives you a little bit more aura for your Syllabir to work with, also give you a higher level of swap for that earlier engagement. So I think it's overall a very good thing. Scourge kind of doing the same thing. They're giving Witch Doctor a little bit of levels, and level on Witch Doctor is also very nice. You can see that he was using Maledict earlier, although not the highest level, but it's pretty good. I'm not too sure whether he will level up Voodoo.
Yeah, man, those 19 damage on the Enchantress, that was wow.
Well, because she was healing. I mean, on any other unit, they actually might have got a kill. I think that was instrumental in terms of getting a kill on Lung Druid. So at the very least, that isn't bad. And it looks like they are going to skip the boots altogether on the Lung Druid. And oh, there's a Blink Dagger coming on the line here. We're going to have Impel Finger combo, and there's going to be perfect chain stuns. But where's the finger right now? I think he didn't have the I think maybe on the cooldown. No, he
didn't have the mana. It's 420. And he just bottled up once.
Ah, I see. So a little bit of missed mana management.
Yeah, indeed. Would never happen to a Luminous line.
Never happened to Luminous line. Tron.
And
Tron.
Actually, I want to have a short look on the creep score right now, because we actually see that even though Scourge is staying defensive, they are farming quite well. We have 90 creeps on the Broodmother. We have 70 on the Anti-Mage and almost 70 on the Venomancer. So compared to 40 on the Clock to, well, okay, 36, but it's still got a lot of neutrals. And, well, to 47 on the Lion. Actually, I think the credits in terms of farm are going to the Scourge right now.
Actually, I'm a little bit more surprised. Of course, we're not really taking into account of the neutral farms, which is a Blink initiation going in. There's a Finger of Death, having the mana there. There's a Gale, the worst, a Hex to get the kill. Still no mana. Tron with the mana management problem. His Treads wasn't on in. And I think that was the issue there. Could have got the kill. He was like 10 mana away from the Hex. So Tron missing 2 kills there. So a little bit of misplay, but it's okay right now.
Top form, top form.
Top form Tron, man. MP. But yes, in that last, when we were talking about the creep kill and then farm over there, we did see a pretty good team fight for the Scourge on top lane. Chain Frost and Cast was bouncing all over the place. They got 2 kills there. Meanwhile, Venomancer got a tower in the mid lane as well. So this game, to me right now, is evening up. But you gotta keep in mind that the Scourge is fighting the Sentinel at the currently it's kind of 5v4-ish, because this Syllabir has not participated in anything. But as a result, he has picked up a very early Sacred Relic. He's gonna finish his Radiance in maybe 2 or 3 minutes, and then we're gonna see the Sentinel to look a little bit more offensive.
Yes, and it's actually a good thing for them. They have completed the urn on the bench. I think that's one reason why they wanted to farm the bench. They have completed the mana boots on the enchantress, and it's really going to help them out in all those early pushes. So yeah, actually, and now I like what they're doing. They're just going to gank with a 4-man top, so Silver can safely finish his relic. But I've also to say I like that Anti-Mage is getting a Vanguard because that way he will actually be able to fight early on even without a BKB because that spell sheet is really going to help out against all those Sentinel heroes. And I don't know, maybe they stand a chance.
Yeah, we'll have to see. I think the BKB on the Brood is... Oh, actually, it's not going to be a BKB. It's going to be a Yasha, which I I thought that was a very interesting case because I thought, let's say if you have both the Broodmother and the Anti-Mage, the line has, like right now for the line, he has many valuable target that he has to hex. If you hex the Venomancer and kill him before a team fight, that's a lot of AoE damage avoided. Same thing with the Lich. But also you got to worry about the right click DPS of that Broodmother and also the Anti-Mage. So for him, there's a lot of target for him to hex. So I was thinking maybe that's why as a Broodmother you want to pick up a BKB because you're one of the important target. There's a hex going on right now, but they can't really initiate because we have a very TP coming, very offensive TP coming from Anti-Mage. She's gonna go right in, realizing the Hex is already used. Great blink from the line to come out there, so very well done. And that was a very good blink from the Anti-Mage, kind of trying to go a little bit offensive. And also good recognition to see that the Sentinel only has one disable and they have used it. Meanwhile, we have a teleportation going to mid lane here. Get that tower denied there as well. Yes, tower is going to be denied by Faith. Very well done. So right now, Sentinel not getting everything they want to get. But again, this right now, Slowbear still doesn't have that Radiant finish yet.
Yeah, actually, I think he just bought his recipe. Yeah, it's on the grow, so... Yeah, well, the real game is starting right now when Silverbear picks up his Radiance, and he's actually killing the Videomancer in the mid lane together with a Hex initiation from the Lion. So, yes, now it's becoming really interesting, and maybe the reason why the Broodmother picked up the Yasha, that she realized that Silverbear got a second relic, so I want to have something for the next fights that are coming up. But on the other hand, I think it's actually just 1.7k missing to a BKB in such a case, and we see Broodmother getting ganked, like, out of position.
And that's going to be absolutely huge when you're up against the Enchantress and a Silverbear. Getting a gank on Broodmother can mean 2 towers. Let's see how bold Sentinel is going to be here, and let's see how Scourge is going to defend. Because if they don't defend, we're going to lose two, maybe even two towers before the Broodmother could really fight. 32 seconds on the Broodmother right now. This tower is going to go down in 2 seconds, and I think Sentinel is going to go straight in for that second tier tower. Rocket already used to weaken the next quick wave, or just to south. Yeah, they missed it. But that's going to be fine. Boots of speed on the Spear Bear as well. I actually would like to see that the phase boots being passed on the Spear Bear and change the boots back to the Silver Bear, because you do a little bit more damage against tower, and any extra plus damage is going to get amplified. But I think he values the safety of his hero a little bit more right now. Second tower already at quarter HP. The Silver Bear just going absolutely crazy, and I think they have very good position as well. They're not really going in, all clumping up on that tower. They still recognize that Chain Frost and the Venomancer all can be dangerous, so they take what they can get. Which is a couple 600 points on damage on the tower, and they're gonna just go back. So very patient play from these Chinese guys.
Yes, and actually maybe you would like to point out what the Anti-Mage is doing, because he's getting a Vlad, and I think you have been talking about that in some other commentary already.
Well,
what do you think about Vlad's up against pushing strats?
I mean, Vlad's on paper to me is one of the best items in the game. It gives you plus damage aura, which your whole team gets it. Your plus armor aura, which is quite good against a terror and also your Silver physical blaze hero. The mana regen aura cannot be underestimated, especially if you're standing around an area for a long time. Venomancer spamming his wards, that's not going to be that bad as well. But more importantly, for the Broodmother and the Anti-Mage, having the plus damage aura and the lifesteal aura is going to be allowing them to at least force a hex on them on the Sentinel. If you look at the Sentinel stuns, they don't have that many. They have the Hex Impale, and they have the there we go. Hex Impale is going to be casted on that Anti-Mage. Can they get the kills? A question. We have the entire Scourge team coming in, strong counter ganking. They're going to still stay for the Anti-Mage, but what is the price? They are going to lose one right now. They're going to focus on the Witch Doctor. Witch Doctor is going to be going down as well. No, nice healing coming in from the Scourge. Enchantress come in to jack that last kill. Killing spree on that Enchantress. 2 for 2 exchange right now. 1 support, 1 carry. But here comes the Clockwork. Can he get the initiate? Yes, he is. Not many spells left on the Sentinel. There is an ult from from the Venomancer. They're focusing on the Lich right now. Lich at half HP. Lich is going to get claimed off, but here comes the Broodmother out of stuns. It's a Sentinel lineup, and they cannot deal with this Broodmother. Swap just to use, and trying a little bit blocking from Vengeful Spirit. Django is popped for that extra movement speed, but there's the Orb Hit. Enchantress doing an insane amount of damage right now. They are going to pick off the Broodmother. Very well done, and they're going to turn on the Venomancer. They will have to earn for the little extra damage if he remembers to cast it right now. And are they going to have the mana to Magic Missile? They are going to have the mana. Where's the Magic Missile? Nice jukes on the Venomancer. No, not enough mana to use his Orb Hit. He's using the Orb Hit now, right? There is the earn hit, but it looks like Venge is going to go. No! He gets a level up. He kills the Spiderlings, and he can earn up right now because that's just a level 1 freaking Venomous Gale. Maybe he doesn't know, but he's fine. He's completely fine right now. So very well done. But here comes Anti-Mage trying to blink in to get a kill there, but that's going to be end of that team fight. So who came out ahead in that team fight? I mean, all the carries died, but it looks like the Sentinel support got a little bit of extra farm there. So I guess Sentinel came out ahead.
Yes, that was actually an insane fight for those two supports, because we saw them actually being up against 3 people, I think, or maybe 2.
Yeah, they were up against a Brood at one point. So
yes, so that Enchantress was just awesome, and the Venge kiting them around, right? Enchantress was doing those tons of damage. So yes, and actually I think Enchantress got like 2 levels there, and Venge also. So there was really a lot of gold and a lot of XP for both of the heroes. We see Venge picking up a cloak instantly, which is a really good decision. Enchantress, did she pick up anything yet?
Maybe she'll go for a point booster.
She picked up a Django. I
Yes.
think she didn't have that before.
No, she did. She popped the Django in the last fight, yes.
Okay. So yeah, she's probably going for a point booster then, and yeah, overall I feel like it was better fight for the Sentinel, because the Cinderbear, he can really afford dying, since he got his Radiance and he got his Planeswalker Cloak, so it's really okay.
So we have a swap and initiation on that Anti-Mage. Anti-Mage goes down, and that is one of the problem. Getting such an early blast, because what does it do for you in terms of giving you extra HP and extra survivability? Nothing. It gives you +5 armor, which is nice. It's nice. But against a Finger of Death and a swap and a Magic Missile, that is not going to be enough. Anti-Mage dies one more time, which isn't going to be too much of a big deal at this point, considering... Oh, well, never mind, because we see a Roshan attempt by the Sentinel, and there's not going to be no defense coming from the Scourge team. Yes, they have double semi-carries, but these double semi-carries might not be enough against the against the Syllabear with the Aegis. Aegis at quarter HP, Aegis is going to be claimed off as we see Lich and the Broodmother coming in. Broodmother destroy the trees to get that starting to attack the Clockwork. They are going to pick off the Clockwork, but I think the Sentinel's fine with... No! I thought they was going to say they're going to be fine with that trade, but they're not even going to lose a clock. As you see, Chain Frost and the Death Ward doing quite a bit of damage. Venge is going to get picked off. Anti-Mage on that killing attempt on the line. Line cannot get blinked. Oh no, he's going to be able to blink away. Very well done. Good jukes from that Lion as well. And the end of that team fight, it was a 2-for-2 trade. Aegis was on the Syllabear, so that's another victory for the Sentinel lineup. Meanwhile, we still have a chase going on the line. 14 seconds cooldown on that blink. I think he could blink very, very soon right now. Where's the turnaround? No, he can't blink anymore. That Lion is absolutely dead. Very persistent play from the Anti-Mage, and he's going to get that kill as we see the Broodmother jacking it with his Spawn Spiderling. So still pretty good exchange for the Sentinel team, in my opinion. So yeah, there's an Aegis on the Lung Druid, and I think Sentinel is going to be making the game-finishing move very, very soon.
Yes, they'll try at least, but we have to say that actually there's Scourge is putting up really good pressure. There will be a pipe completed soon on the Venomancer. So, well, okay, soon. Let's check his gold. His gold is at
1,000 gold.
1,000 gold right now. Maybe some items in the no items. So okay, they're like, okay, there's a good amount of gold that he's lacking. But once he got that pipe, well, he's already so tanky, so he probably won't die. He got that pipe and the max, so he's going to be a really great help for the team. And I actually think there's a chance of the Scourge defending those pushes, and I think it's still quite equal. Even though the Sentinel is leading 6 kills, they have the more aggressive lineup. They need to finish the game earlier, because I think in late game they'll actually lose. Yeah, to the Scourge lineup, because as you said, they got those 2 carries, and the Sentinel's only the Syllabear, which is not the strongest carry in late, but. So yeah, all in all, I still feel like it's very, very equal.
I'm just a little worried for the fact that usually when you say a Broodmother and an Anti-Mage, you will have peak moments of the heroes, gathering strength, and usually the peak for that Broodmother is getting that BKB. The peak for the Anti-Mage is either getting the Battle Fury plus the second item, as we see yet another kill attempt on the Witch Doctor. There's a swap on him as well, and he's gonna blink out just fine, man. My heart skipped a beat because he died there. That would have been the game. But anyways, going back to what I was saying, Anti-Mage needs his either Manta Style or Battle Fury plus like a BKB or something. But right now, neither of these two heroes are even near those items. So yes, they are stronger in late game, but without the items, I think it's gonna be a walk in the park for the Sentinel. They pick off the.
Root actually only lacks 600 gold for the BKB.
Oh, is he gonna? Or is he going to make the Manta Style? Because he does. I think BKB is going to be the more logical choice here. But Syllabear is going on your racks right now. And I don't think they will have the time to finish the BKB. So he is going for it right now. I think he even sold his Soul Ring. There's a Myrtle Hammer and a Okrax. But he's short. He's short a little bit. Is he going to sell his Magic Wand? He's selling the Magic Wand right now. Half HP is that tower. Sentinel is still very, very patient. The Syllabear could tank quite a bit of damage and dish out a whole bunch against the tower. Venomancer just dropping wards anytime he can. Venomancer needs to be careful of the swap. Generally, I say swapping a Venomancer is a bad idea, but if you get the swap and an instant hex on the Venomancer, if you could kill him before he does anything, you make him lose his mecha, you make him lose that huge damage of that ult. I think that would be the ideal initiation for the Sentinel, yes. but let's see how they're actually going to play it out.
Yes, that's absolutely true, but as you said, it's a high risk swapping the Venomancer in, but it will really pay off since the Venomancer is doing a lot of hit damage with the pure hits as well because of his passive. It's really, really strong, and they're going to X that Venomancer, but he's going to be fine.
Yeah, it looks like the team fight is going to be starting right now. The bear gets picked off right now. Are we going to have a bear immediately summon? We have a blink out from the line as well. Looks like they are going to just claim the tower and back off right now. Meanwhile, we do see iG.Z get a kill on that Lich, and that is going to be crucial. And there's going to be no Chain Frost if this fight is actually going to break out. We have a kill attempt on that Venge. Venge is going to be forfeited. I think the Sentinel's fine with that. Enchantress also need to get out because if he takes a slow, he might just be dead. Anti-Mage hot on pursuit right now. He pops the Django, and I think he's going to be fine. He's got Arcane Boost. He's got Point Booster. Anti-Mage still hot on the trail right now, but Anti-Mage gonna get enchanted. I think they're on really a wild goose chase. No block up the ramp. Anti-Mage, yeah, still 1,000 mana on that Enchantress. She could pop a heal. She even take a nuke. But there's that slow on the Venomancer, and I think that might there's a stun from the
Chuan top 4.
Chuan top 4 and blinking for the stun. Pro. Yeah, I think they're gonna be fine.
So
actually, it wouldn't be smart for these guys to keep chasing anymore. So
yeah, they actually the bear was going down once while pushing the tower, so he already resummoned it. So that's why he didn't use it later on.
Okay.
But yeah, overall they still got the Aegis on him, so the Scourge still quite in trouble. We saw Broodmother popping the BKB going on the Venge, but if you were looking at that, the damage was not really high. And that's simply because the supports are so farmed right now. We see Venge sitting at 1.5 KHB with a point booster and the power threads, and it's just so much.
And 8 armor.
Yeah, I think Scourge will have really problems picking off any heroes in the next push.
Yeah, it just depends on how much Anti-Phage is going to farm and whether he's going to use that farm for buyback, or no, it looks like he is going to pick up a point booster. Going for that Manta Style, there's no doubt in my mind that the Sentinel would push before that Manta Style is going to be finished. I wonder if they're going to be waiting for some key item right now. Let me see how everyone's doing on gold. 1,400 gold on that line. I don't think he's going to be going for anything. Clockwork does have Ghost Scepter and a Vanguard finish. I
think they're waiting for the Syllabear's bear
yes
cooldown to come off because he just resummoned it on the bot lane.
So I think that's like 2.5 more minutes. There's a Vlats on the Syllabear as well, so that's gonna equal it out. So the Scourge side don't have the advantage.
Actually, I think the cooldown is getting lower and it's only 2 minutes.
2 minutes now?
At the end.
Okay.
Level 4, yes.
Okay.
But well, it seems it's ready, so.
And looks like they're going to be making that push right now. Scourge side doesn't have that Django on the Lich yet. Still quite a bit of away from that. Hood is finished on the Venomancer, but still 500 gold from that pipe. Django is up on the Witch Doctor, but that's all he's got. BKB is up on the Broodmother, 1k gold as well. So if he gets a couple kills, he might be able to get into a Manta Style, but that is in the future as we see Syllabear.
Actually,
yes.
Actually, I think it's more interesting if he could get a buyout if he
Yes,
gets a
yes,
couple of
yes.
kills.
But the case right now, Syllabir is tanking the damage. These Broodlings are down. We have the Plague Wars also being one-shotted by this by the Syllabir. I see the Broodmother very smartly microing those Spiderlings, trying to just cancel the Blink Dagger. But there's a swap. There's an immediate Hex on the Venomancer. They need to kill him quick, and they do. And the team fight, in my opinion, is go all the way for the Sentinel. Anti-Mage at half HP. He gets Entangle. He's done. Broodmother is going to get completely right-click. Vengeful Spirit is trying to juke right now. They are going to take off the Broodmother, and here's a kill on the Witch Stalker as well. Perfect initiation, isolating Venomancer, preventing his ult, preventing his mecha, and that's going to be the mid-racks, and in my opinion, that's the game as well.
Yes, that's definitely the game. And well, I think actually we said most of the parts we realized, or we were talking about the Scourge not having a real gank lineup, being defensive. We knew that they would go to push when the Radiance was up, and it actually was just a question if they were able to execute the fight correctly. And well, they did. You even predicted that swap like a boss.
Like a boss. I didn't watch a replay, by the way. I'm serious. But yeah, sorry, you were saying about the team fights. Or that's it.
Yeah, that's it actually. Oh, and there's actually the GG call coming. So
yeah, the other thing I saw the problem with this lineup, and again I think maybe you're right, it is a little bit outpick, is that the Sentinel, the Scourge had no avenue of initiation. Let's for a moment and imagine Scourge just dominating, like they're dominating throughout the game. They will still have the issue of going high ground because none of these heroes can really do that unless you have like a mix.
Well, actually, Anti-Mage. If they would just like to go high ground, Anti-Mage could.
Yeah.
When he's quite fat.
Right.
That's okay, but.
But I mean, even so, I think they still lack the high ground heroes like a Venge or a Clock or a Bat or anything like that. So the problem of initiation is always there. So it just allows Sentinels like, hey, if I need a little bit more farm, I can, because there's not going to be a huge threat from the Scourge to initiate on me. If I want to push right now, no problem, because we're going to have the initiation on our end. So I felt like it was a little bit outpicked, but overall I think iG.Y played extremely well as well. Enchantress and the Venge, they play so well. A double jungle coming out in that bot chasing team fight there. They did so much. They kill carries. They kill the Broodmother like no one's business as well. So to me, this game was very well played by the two supports, and I think they were the MVP there. Unfortunately, Tron top form, not so top form this game, in my opinion at least. But yeah,
we'll see.
Enchantress and Venge, well played. Anything else to add before we cut this one out, 715?
No, I don't think so.
Okay, very nice game.
Viewers
game. And what's the other one? Oh, the FAQ. If you have any interesting questions that you want to ask, let me know. Okay.
And the viewers game is going to be played on RGC, by the way.
No, we don't know. We don't know. We'll see.
Okay,
we'll see.
Yeah,
okay.
We'll see.
All right.
Maybe RGC.
Hope you guys enjoyed this commentary. We will be bringing you guys more games from the Zongbao tournament because there's so many replays released right now. So we will get to it. And that's it from us today. And until tomorrow, we will be back. This is 715 and Luminous signing off. See you guys.